What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Happy New Year. We're in 2025. And I'll tell you what, a lot of these players ain't making it any further than 2025. Today, we're doing a tier list, keeping it simple enough. You're going to be good enough, potential, and just straight up not good enough. Now, recently, I've been looking back at our last couple results, and honestly, I don't really believe it's as bad as people are making it out to be. Like, everybody talking all this relegation nonsense, I don't believe that. I think, obviously, the biggest problem for us is that we're conceding too many set pieces, and it's killing us. Even when we're having good moments throughout the game, just one criminal error off a set piece, no one's marking their man, or our players on the field just simply aren't big enough. You know, obviously, we desperately need a left wing back, a proper left wing back that's actually left-footed. But I think the true problems lie in midfield. Games are won and lost in midfield. And if we're seriously going out there playing a midfield of Casemiro and Eriksen, we're going to lose a lot of games. All right, let's get into it. I've tried to keep this in order, but with goalkeepers, defenders, to midfielders, to forwards. We're starting off with the goalkeeper. I've left a couple players out, Johnny Evans, Tom Heaton, just because they're on their way out anyway. It's pretty self-explanatory. All right, Binder, for me, it's easy enough. He's not good enough. You know, even just as a backup goalkeeper, even though it's probably not one of our main issues that we need to worry about right now, we've had better backup goalkeepers in the past. Usually a title-winning team has a better backup goalkeeper than what Binder offers us. So for me, Binder's going and not good enough. Starting goalkeeper, Onana. Ah, man, Onana's a weird one, man, because he's been driving me nuts all season. He's been driving us all nuts. He's got so many mistakes in him, but for some reason, I still have hope in him. I still have hope for him. I don't think, you know, obviously what he's done for us, I can put him in good enough, but I think we're going to drop him in potential, to be honest. Moving on to the defenders, Diogo Dalot, he's been having an absolutely dreadful season. But you know what? I think he's been kind of left out to dry a little bit as well, because he's been forced to play on the left side. Obviously, it comes unnatural to him. But I don't forget what he's done for this club in the past. I believe we can't forget, he was one of our best players, if not our best player last season. So for me, I'm going to put him in potential, because, you know, maybe he might be a little too inconsistent to be put in good enough, because for me with Dalot, when the team's performing well, Dalot's performing well. When the team's not performing well, Dalot's playing like crap. So yeah, I'm going to drop him into potential. Lindelof, you're not good enough, man. How old is Lindelof now, man? He's just getting worse and worse as the years go on, man. I'm over it. Just leave the club, please. De Ligt for me, he's good enough. One of the best signings we made all season. One of the best signings we've made for a while. All right, I think as long as he stays fit, I think he'll be a really great center back for us for many years. Harry Maguire, though, on the other hand, not good enough. He's slow. He's got low football IQ. He gives the ball away every time he gets it. Just leave, bro. Just leave. Malacia is a weird one, man, because obviously he's been dealing with a bad injury. Hasn't really had a proper chance to prove himself. But the times I have seen him play, you know, he hasn't really been super standout, super impressive. But I believe he deserves a shot, and I do see potential in him, so we'll drop him in potential. Mazraoui's one that's going in good enough, man. I love Mazraoui. I would like to see him play more as a center back for the rest of the season, just because we desperately need help there. I would like Amorim. I feel like we were finding success when Ahmed was playing deeper as the right mid or the wing back or whatever you want to call it. So I'm hoping that we go back to that and see Mazraoui play as a center back. Lenny Euro, still young, and obviously he came back from his injury in his foot. I don't think he's proved himself enough yet to put him in good enough. And obviously he's still young. I believe he's just turned 19. I think obviously he's going to be one of the greatest center backs in the world one day, but I don't think he is that today. So I think we're going to drop him. He's probably borderline good enough in potential, but I think we're going to put him in potential. But he will be good enough one day. I'm certain in that. Luke Shaw, another one that deals with injuries all the time. This one I've lost my patience for, man. Like he's going in not good enough. And it actually is sad for me to say because I actually think if he was capable of staying fit, I think he would actually be really good in this system. But he's not, so he's not good enough. Licha Martinez, man, the butcher. The butcher. You know, I really wanted so badly for the people that were saying that he was too small to play in the Premier League. I really didn't want those people to be right. But I think they might be right because majority of the goals that we have been conceding all this season, but especially recently, have really been down to this guy just being small. And it actually pains me to say that because just technically as a footballer, you know, he's all right. He doesn't really make that many mistakes. But just the height is an issue. And it's going to continue to be an issue. And for me, you know, I think he'll be good enough. He's good enough for some other team. But just in this Amorim system in the Premier League, it's not good enough for me. I think we got to move him on. Onto the midfield though, Kobbie Mainoo. This is someone for me who is good enough. Kobbie Mainoo is going to be one of the best midfielders this league's ever seen, man. I'm telling you. What is he? Like not even 20 years of age yet, somewhere around that. The guy put some good pieces around him, man. This guy's gonna be. He's going to be a top player for us for a very long time. Moving on to El Capitano, Mr. Bruno Fernandes. For me, again, it's an easy decision. It might be an unpopular decision amongst, you know, some people in the fan base, but for me, he's good enough, man. Our team is without a doubt worse when Bruno Fernandes is not in it. And just in terms of leaders throughout the club, this club is lacking true leaders, and Bruno Fernandes is the only real leader to me that I see in this team. So for me, he's good enough. You got to keep him. Yeah, man. Casemiro though, not good enough. I'm done with Casemiro. I'm also done with Eriksen as well. Again, I don't ever want to see a midfield partnership of Casemiro and Eriksen ever again. I'm pretty sure Amorim's learned his lesson from that Newcastle game, and hopefully we won't be seeing that again. We're actually going to skip forward, and I'm going to drop Eriksen into the not good enough as well for those exact same reasons, man. We don't need players. We don't need players in the midfield that have one foot in the grave. All right, we need energy in the midfield, and we're not getting that from those two. Manuel Ugarte though is someone who does bring energy to the midfield, but I don't know. I don't think I've seen enough of him to just certainly put him in good enough. I think he's walking the line between potential and good enough. I'm not sure if, you know, he's someone that should be, and that's good enough to be like a solidified starter. But I definitely think he'd be, at the very least, a good squad player. I don't know. Should I put him in good enough? I'm going to put him in potential. I'm going to put him in potential. Maybe people might disagree with that, but we're going to drop him in potential. Mason Mount, though, another player dealing with injuries. You know, Amorim obviously speaks very highly of him. And, you know, I wasn't really a big fan of Mason Mount when we first signed him. When he was at Chelsea, I used to always call him Jesse Lingard 2.0. And then when he actually signed for United, you know, he grew on me a little bit. And I would actually like to see him get a proper run of games. And it disappoints me every time I see him go off injured or have to miss games through injury. I really hope he's able to sort that out. So, obviously for those reasons, I think you got to put him in potential. You can't put him in good enough from what we've seen on the field from him. And just in terms of just his injury record, he's got to go in potential for me. And I'm not going to go as far as say he's not good enough. Yeah, dude, that does it for the midfielders. Moving on to the forwards. Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund's actually someone I have a lot of time for, even though he has frustrated me a little bit lately. But in terms of just like a proper finisher, it is hard to find a proper finisher nowadays. And I think Rasmus Højlund, he's still young, still got a lot to learn. And even just from size-wise, I think he's going to fill out a little bit more. I think he really will be a proper number 9 for us. I just think obviously he needs better service. That's number one. And I just think, he just needs to learn a little bit more. I think I'm going to put him, I'm going to drop him in potential. He's another one that's got potential. Not quite good enough as in this current moment, but give him time, be patient with him. I feel he will come good. Marcus Rashford, on the other hand, someone who on his day, clearly good enough, probably the best player in our team on his day, but that day is one day out of the year. So for that reason, for just the consistency reasons, and also all the drama and just the lack of effort that he, you never know what version of Marcus Rashford is going to turn up. And this team is dying out for some consistency. And we really don't need players like Marcus Rashford in the club anymore. Easy for me, not good enough. Move him on. Garnacho, though. You see, I don't even know what's really going on with Garnacho right now in terms of like this whole leak stuff. I'm assuming that it's not true, because if it was true, he wouldn't be playing at all. He's been making his appearances, a couple appearances off the bench, but he is somebody, especially for the rest of this season, we need to get him back in the starting 11 and backfiring, because he is an unbelievable player in my eyes. He's quick, he can dribble, he's good with both feet. He can score goals, he can get assists, he's a great finisher. He scored many outrageous goals for this club, and he's still very young. I think he easily goes into good enough for me. I think he's having a little bit of confidence issues right now, but I think if we were to let him go, it would be a massive, massive mistake. So for me, easily going in good enough. Josh Zirkzee. Ooh, man, Josh Zirkzee. This one's pretty simple for me. Not good enough. Every time I've watched this guy play, he's not a footballer. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Lukaku, honestly. Like he's really just a big guy. He's got terrible ball control. He can't pass, can't shoot, can't do anything, can't dribble, can't do anything. And it might be unpopular to say, but from him getting booed off in that Newcastle game, everybody was saying how they felt bad for him. I don't feel bad for him. Maybe that's unpopular to say, but I don't feel bad for him. The guy gave the ball away every single time he got it. And I know, a lot of players pretty much did that exact same thing during the Newcastle game, but at least those players were running. Zirkzee was not running. I don't even think I saw him at a full sprint once the entire game. All right, you want to go ahead and go watch right before he got subbed off. There's two Newcastle players. They're around half, just two Newcastle defenders just passing it back and forth like freaking 10 times. And Josh Zirkzee is just standing there looking at them. Not pressing, not doing anything. The guy's just standing there like he's a chill guy. You want to be a chill guy? We'll be a chill guy for someone else's team. Not this one. Josh Zirkzee, not good enough. Anthony. This is Anthony's a prime example of why I don't feel bad for Zirkzee. In my opinion, Anthony gets it way worse than Zirkzee. Yeah, he never really got booed like that, but overall, he gets way more criticism than Zirkzee does. But at least, and yeah, Anthony's performance hasn't been the best, especially from a technical standpoint, just like Zirkzee. But at the very least, this guy runs. At least he'll press some guys. At least he'll defend. All right, and I have respect for that. And for me, I'm not even gonna put him in not good enough. And just for this season, like where we are right now, I haven't even really thought about this until now. Why isn't Anthony playing as the left wing back instead of Dalot? Because we desperately need a left-footed player, and Anthony, to me, is that guy. He'll put him on the right side, but why not put him on the left? I think he should try that out. For me, he'll never live up to the price tag that we paid for him. I'm not that delusional, but I do think we can get some use out of him. For me, I'm going to put him in potential. That might be, again, a very unpopular one, but I'm going to put him in potential. Last player on the list, Amad Diallo. Best player on the team right now. Easily for me, good enough. Absolutely a wonder kid this guy is, man. I love this guy. So good. Sign him to a lifetime contract. Never leave, please. Yeah, guys, there you have it. See how many we have here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players who aren't good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players with potential. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players that are good enough. You know, those obviously aren't great numbers, but it was honestly, you know, before I thought this, I thought I was going to put 80% of the team in not good enough. So I'm actually surprised that we've gotten to this. Yeah, guys, if you agree or disagree, go ahead and leave a comment. If you like the video, you want to see more videos like this, make sure you go ahead, hit the like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn the bell on so you know when your boy goes live or posts a video. Also, you guys know, if you want the best quality football jerseys, use the code TFC1 on LU Soccer. I'll put the link in the description for 20% off. Yeah, boys, there you have it. There's your Man United tier list. Again, Happy New Year to all you guys. I hope you guys have a brilliant 2025, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.